So we're talking about what came first, stand-up or improv. And I think for different people, it's different. For me, I did stand-up first, and that was, out of all the acting I've ever done and television and everything, stand-up was the hardest thing I ever did. So when improv came around and femprov came around, which is the only group I ever performed in, I really appreciated improv. You had so many layers of protection and also a lot more than your own creativity to work with. And I really, really liked improv. I loved acting, and I liked stand-up only for the fact that it really was something that you did on your own, you wrote everything on your own, you were totally responsible for getting laughs from the audience. Everything was on your own, and it was the toughest thing I ever did. But like I said, first love acting, second improv, third by a long way is stand-up.
Right, well, and also stand-up was done mostly in bars at that point, whereas improv leaked into the theaters and maybe leaked into the bars as well. I'm not sure.
And when you think about it, one of the, I think, most fun places that we did improv was the Other Cafe. And that was a cafe, I think they had maybe wine and beer, but I'm not even sure about that. The other place that I really liked performing was the Savoy Tivoli. It had a bar, but you were in a back room that was separated from it, unlike Cobb's. When the blenders went on, you heard it. At the Savoy, you didn't have that. And at the Spaghetti Factory, it was the same way. It was a back room. But like the Coffee Gallery, I mean, you had to really, you really struggled to be heard over the blenders.
Right. I think as time went on too, the bar owners were like covering their bets, or on off nights they were a sports bar, or
Exactly.
When I was on the road and traveling, it's just like, there was a bull in here last week and people were riding it, this is so they were, there would be places I would work where it's like the televisions were blaring and you'd have to turn them off before you started.
Right, and I don't remember, did we have microphones at Cobb's?
Yes.
Okay, because I remember not having a microphone at, like, say, the Spaghetti Factory or the Savoy Tivoli, and because it was more of a quiet area, and people could bring drinks in, that wasn't the issue. But I don't remember having.
You know what? You're right. We didn't have microphones. It was a long room, and it was low ceiling, so the sound was pretty good.
Yeah.
But they had microphones for the stand-ups.
Correct.
And I think maybe, Carol had a microphone when she was doing her stand-up.
Right, but I don't think there
we
were
didn't have
multiples.
to use them. No.
No, not at all. And one of the other places that I remember that was basically a fun place to perform was the Great American Music Hall. I love that place because you really felt like people came there not for the bar, but just to see who was performing there. It was like a dedicated thing.
Right.
And I loved that. I loved performing.
Yeah, the drinks were incidental, or
they were
just refreshments for, so that you could remain hydrated during the show.
Very much so. But